Hello and welcome to a very special video, everybody. So recently news came out that finally the about year-old attempt, or probably even older than that, deal between Games Workshop and Amazon had finally gone forward, and it gave them exclusive rights to television shows and movies, including licensing, I'm assuming, involving those projects in terms of marketing or merchandising. And I thought, oh boy, I do not feel very good about this. Now, this is a very much opinion-driven video, so if you don't like my opinions, I understand. Have a nice day. For everybody else, here we go. I already had a fairly dubious view when it came to Games Workshop and their own media projects, be they attempts in comics of late with Marvel or their Warhammer Plus platform. To be generous, some people seem to like what they do on it. I generally don't. I don't think a lot of these media attempts have been good for the franchise effectively, because most of them don't really try that hard to capture the essence of Warhammer as much as use it as window dressing and to move it more into a tactical direction. Now, I know there are people who enjoy it, and I'm not attacking you in any way. It's just my personal opinion. So when I heard about a year ago that Games Workshop was trying to ink a deal for movies and television with Amazon, I thought, oh my god, how many horses are going to get killed? Now, I mean that in a joking manner, but Amazon does have a track record of horse death with the Rings of Power. It's kind of weird, and I get a little bit worried about the horses in it. I mean, the Krieg have horse monsters, just saying that there's that possibility there. But overall, Amazon Studios' track record is not that impressive. I don't really like most of their work, and honestly, do many of us have good feelings towards Amazon? That's not to villainize them as a corporation. I do understand that they employ a lot of people, and a lot of people make money off being able to sell things and businesses and all of that great stuff. But do we think the effect of Amazon with their overpaid, under-talented crew that they tend to throw into these projects is going to be able to produce something that captures the essence of Warhammer and not be almost a parody of a romance story or romantic movie comedy kind of deal like Rings of Power has seemingly turned into and continued to, damn well started that way in a way. Do we really think they're going to be able to deal with the heavy topics that are in 40K? Do you think they're going to be able to appropriately represent some of the things that occur in it? Do we think they'll actually capture in that bottle the feel and feeling of those characters and the world they live in without, let's say, shoving in their modern opinions and politics into it? I mean, and that could be on left or right, but we do know what way that Amazon tends to swing when it comes to their movie studios. But I have all of these misgivings. It feels like Games Workshop making a deal with a bigger devil than themselves, and me going, I just don't have a good feeling about this. Like, I don't believe, in my personal opinion, that the Warhammer Plus shows have really been representatory of 40K. They haven't really hit the ballpark for me, and I haven't really enjoyed any of it, and I don't really want to pay them for substandard shows and books that they'll have all the rules ripped out of them effectively. And occasional battle reports, which seems weird. You think those would be kind of free, but whatever. But regardless, I don't feel like this is a good move. I have a feeling that this is just continuing down a road where you're either into what I would refer to as old Warhammer, or you're a into new Warhammer. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean it as there are people who want the dark, gritty, very complex and very brutal universe of Warhammer 40k, and then there are the people who are introduced later, or they just want a more simplified thing that are more into the new 40k, where it's a lot cleaner. There's a lot more candy coating of certain factions. There's an unending assortment of Primaris, a never-ending tide of Primaris to be drowned under as other factions slowly get anything, if anything at all. I mean, at least the Tau got the Vespids, and the Elder are finally kind of getting more of their line done. Let's not dwell on that. But I have a feeling that this is going to continue down a road that's going to be very reminiscent to people who liked Star Trek or Star Wars or really any major franchises. You kind of watch the soul of the thing get torn out in front of you, and you're told that this is how it is, and if you don't like it, you can walk out. And you're like, well, I'm watching the thing turn into something different. And I don't know anything about Henry Cavill, really. I'm not really a fan of his. I hope he's able to pull them into line and produce something good and at least passable, but I don't have a lot of hopes. I mean, I watched The Witcher show and I wasn't impressed, let's just say, when it comes to accuracy. So I'm not a fan of Henry Cavill. I'm not a massive fan of Amazon Studios, and I have criticized freaking Games Workshop from one side of the business to the other, to the point where I kind of sit there and I wonder, who's excited? I would love to know why. Please tell me why you're excited or you're looking forward to it, what you think they're going to do with it. You don't want to always be in the salt mines, but I mean, when you line up two companies that I've actively criticized, and then you go, they're going to produce something. I go, look, guys, Scorsese is not involved in this, so I don't have the highest opinion of your current creators. I mean, The Rings of Power is an abomination to entertainment. That's before we talk about Tolkien. It's boring. It's stupid. It's got nothing to offer or nothing to say, and it sure as hell doesn't feel like a Tolkien thing. But, maybe they'll make this Warhammer stuff under the direction of Cavill, and I'll be like, wow! And there'll be 0 horse fatalities this time. Who knows? Let me know, guys. I actually enjoy hearing your opinions more than blathering on here. So let's see how it turns out, everybody. But when you're making deals with the devil, you tend to get that kind of Spider-Man arc. You know the one that effectively destroyed Spider-Man. So have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.